Philippine architecture covers a myriad of expressions, forms, types, styles, and periods. Its primeval expression resided in nature. For the early Filipinos who were defenseless before the violence of wind and rain, the cave was a refuge, a place of dwelling. The petroglyphs in a rock shelter in Angono, Rizal provides evidence of the ancient Filipinos' effort to embellish his habitation, while the mountaintop citadels of Savidug, Batanes is a testimony to the sophisticated defensive engineering of the early Ivatan settlers. Emerging from the caves, our ancestors initiated the first architectural revolution with the invention of stone tools for cutting fibrous materials from plants. This helped develop the lean-to, a temporary tent-like shelter made of wooden skeleton and vegetative or animal skin. The treehouse was another shelter fashioned from nature, constructed around, next to, or among the trunk or branches of one or more mature trees while above ground. They are usually found in areas where violent intertribal conflict and nocturnal raid are frequent. The cultures of Southeast Asia have descended from a common ancestry based on affiliation with the Austronesian family of languages. Its culture is characterized by a waterborne lifestyle. Vernacular architecture in the Philippines professes a strong allegiance to a greater Austronesian building heritage, for the archetypal house consists of an architectural system of a raised wooden structure elevated on posts, with a thatched pitch roof and decorative gable finials. The prototypical bahay kubo is usually built with wooden posts as its framework. The four posts of the Ifugao house, which is both granary and home, is distinctive for circular rat guards, while the Maranao Torogan stands on stout log posts resting on round stones. Houses built on the seabed, like the Bajau houses, are raised on slender posts or stilts. Cross gable finials, which hold the rafters together at the ridge, are an ever-present feature of Southeast Asian roofs. In the monsoon-beaten Batanes Islands, the dwellings are designed and built to withstand the battering of the most severe of storms, sea sprays, and earthquakes. With knowledge of processing lime for building that was introduced in the 18th century by Spanish colonists, the Ivatans are able to construct their more familiar house made of stone and mortar, known as cal y canto. In the altitudes of the mountain province, the vernacular houses were designed primarily to shield from the cold weather, and designed in relation to the terrain of the mountains, while lowland vernacular dwellings were open to light and ventilation, a typology best embodied by the bahay kubo. Depending on the ecology of the vicinity, the bahay kubo may be constructed from various kinds of botanic materials, primarily of bamboo and thatch. The Spanish Empire's attempts to bring Mindanao under its dominion were continuously foiled by its people, who were consolidated by the religion and political structure of Islam. A religion based on congregational worship, which requires a permanent and distinct architecture called the mosque. The oldest standing mosque in the Philippines, found in Tubig Indangan, Simunol Islands, Tawi-Tawi, is a prototype of the multi-layered roof of the pagoda-style mosque. Later mosques were rendered in a style approximating Middle Eastern models. the Golden Mosque in Quiapo, Manila, notable for its gilded dome, combines modern mosque design with stylized and colorful Maranao Okir patterns. The geographic features of Sulu and Mindanao have encouraged both terrestrial and naval architecture, such as the Samal, the Tausug, the Yakan, and the Bajau. Descending from the Austronesian lineage, the houses in different Muslim societies in the southern Philippines are categorized into three. Land-based stilted dwellings situated along the shoreline. Oceanic stilt dwellings built completely over the sea and entirely detached from the shoreline. And the houseboat, which is both home and fishing boat. Vernacular architecture is a broad category denoting indigenous, folk, tribal, ethnic, or traditional architecture found among the different ethno-linguistic societies in the Philippines. Undeniably, the vernacular architectural tradition is an omnipresent building practice in the country and remains an accessible architectural idiom to the majority of Filipinos.